Gig workers. They often get called things like lazy, unintelligent, entitled, and skillless, just to name a few. In this docuseries, we talk to the people who are a part of a new and kind of confusing to some way of making a living in today's society. We will get to know what career field they were previously in and what drove them into entering the gig economy. You will get an inside look into the real people and not just a name and a picture on a phone screen. Welcome to our appealing lives. Today's episode is featuring Angela, aka Bomb City Dashin. Let's see how she navigates through the gig economy. What type of work did you do before getting into gig work?
Okay, so I still have a W-2 job, but I went to x-ray school and did ultrasound, and I still do quality assurance type work, doing kind of an ultrasound type of situation. So I don't really want to get into where, so.
No. Listen, you answered it perfectly. And I'm glad that you said that, because people have this misconception that people who do gig work don't know how to do anything else but gig work. So okay. I'm so glad that you right off the bat, let them know. Okay.
Absolutely.
So my next question is, what led you to getting into the gig economy?
So basically, because I want to retire. So I have been married for 18 years, got divorced, did the whole dating, blah, blah, blah thing. And I still live in the same house that I lived in 30 years ago. And then I got remarried, and we just want to have, we want to enjoy our retirement and be able to travel and do those things. And things happened. And so we've got some credit card debt and some cars and things like that. So that's what I do when he works at night to pay all this off.
Gotcha. Okay. That's beautiful. What apps do you primarily use?
So my main app is Grubhub. And then it was like Grubhub and UberEats, and DoorDash was like at the bottom of the pile. And lately it's been kind of very sporadic. Grubhub is still my number one, but the other two kind of flip-flop, and I throw in some Spark here and there. I'm on some other apps that aren't really in my area, and so haven't really done a lot with any of the other ones, but those are the main ones.
I got you. Yeah, that's the only thing. It's like people always say, have as many apps as you can, but it's pointless if it's really not happening in your zone.
Absolutely.
Man, everybody's on Spark. I cannot get on Spark. Jeez.
Oh, well. See, and they're like, I can't get on Instacart.
See?
Yeah, I can't get on that one. I've been on the wait list on two different, I have two different phones, and I'm on the wait list on both of them.
Yeah, I'm on the wait list on Spark going on 3 years. Well, past 3 years now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 3 years on, and I've applied 3 different times in 2 different locations. Like, wow. And still, they're like, we're full.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't get it.
And I can get on and do really good in the mornings, like on a weekend, but by the afternoon, they're not sending me anything. So I haven't figured that situation out. So anymore, I just kind of doing my Grubhub big time. So
now, how is your experience, you would say, with Grubhub? Because I've noticed Grubhub has been getting a little bit better lately. So, I don't know if it's just me.
So I've been doing gig work going on 2 years, but like barely. I mean, like a year was in October. So, and that was,
okay.
Yeah, since then. And I mean, but Grubhub has been like spot on. Because I did Friday, just a few hours on Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday this past weekend, and the majority of it was Grubhub, and I think I made $16 on DoorDash,
and my goodness,
30, maybe 43 on UberEats, and the rest of it's all Grubhub, and I made almost $500.
Ooh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Grubhub is working in your zone for
Yeah,
sure,
absolutely.
for
Absolutely.
sure. Because yeah, I've noticed a lot of people that haven't been using it that often. I'm starting to see like they'll do ride-alongs, and I'll see Grubhub sent me this and Grubhub sent me that, and I'm like, And I've noticed a little bit of it's gotten better. I'll
Yeah,
say that it's gotten better because it was slow at
absolutely.
one point. Um, so you kind of answered this question, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. Um, what is your plans after gig work, or do you plan on staying in the gig economy?
It's bad because I like the money. My husband thinks I'm like addicted to gig work. He's like, you've got to stop. And it's hard for me even to go on vacation that I'm looking at my phone going, it's hot right here. DoorDash is really hot. And he's like, no. I know. It's bad. So we'll probably, even when we travel, I would imagine that we'll probably still do gig work and he'll go ride with me, and he rides with me like on Friday nights when he's
Mhm.
off, but then
Mhm.
he does all the housework. He does all the stuff that I would probably be doing,
Uh,
but instead I'm the one out doing all the, because I do 12, 14 hours on a Saturday or a Sunday.
right, right,
But I mean, there is an end goal to where it won't be as, you know, prevalent, in our life as it is now.
right,
But
right.
but he works at night, Monday through Friday or Monday through Thursday. So I might as well go make some extra money and pay down the debt so that we can enjoy retirement versus using all our retirement to pay down the debt.
That makes sense. That's actually really, really smart. That's really smart. And that's why when you told me that in the email, I was like, wow, I can't wait to talk to you about that, because that it's a whole different perspective and it makes a lot of sense. The
Absolutely.
reason why I was laughing so much about what you said about vacation is because I'm the same way. Like, I can't go anywhere without looking at it. I'm like, oh, it's busy right here. Let me just turn the app on and see what
I
I
know
get.
it's so hard not to turn it on. But I mean, like a few weeks ago before we went on our vacation, we went to Lubbock, which is like 150 miles south. And that's basically what we went there for. Because because my current job, we didn't know if we were going to be on strike or not. So I was trying to figure out if it got slow here, how busy Lubbock would be.
Oh,
So
that makes sense.
yeah.
That
Luckily, we
makes
averted
sense.
the strike, so they did vote for the contract. So that's not going to happen. But I have been at this job for a long enough time that we have been on strike once.
Oof.
5 weeks of no pay, and this was like
Ooh.
way before I knew of gig work or any of that stuff. It was about 2015. 5 weeks of no pay. Yeah.
I don't like strikes. I remember on my old job when they went on strike, and I hated it. Everybody was like, "But it's to bet for a better cause." I'm like, "For what? What better cause?" Like,
Right.
I need money.
Well, and that's the thing. We have a lot of new, like really young kids out this place, and this was the second contract we voted on. The first one that got voted down. And I mean, unfortunately, if you don't take the first one, the next one's worse.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
And if you turn that one down, then it starts going the other way. But there's too many new kids and young parents and new cars and new houses, and so they took, in my opinion, a kind of crappy
deal.
But I'm trying to get out in 6 years, so I only have to go through this one more time.
Yeah, striking does make sense, but it's just difficult when you have things going on.
Absolutely.
That's the gripe with it, because like you, when my company, I said my company like I own it. The company I used to work for, when they did a strike and they went on strike, it was the same situation. Like, it was before I knew about gig work. So, because had I known about it, I'd be like, yeah, go ahead, take all the time you need. Listen, I'm
Absolutely, I
fine.
would have been
You
doing the
know,
same thing.
I wouldn't have cared because I knew I could just go out there, and do what I had to do. But yeah, when we did, when my company, I keep saying that it's not my company. The company I worked for, when they went on strike, yeah, I actually had to pick up another job, like, because they were on strike for a while. So it was weird. And I was young. I was really young though, so it wasn't too bad. At least I didn't have too much financial responsibility, but
Right.
it was definitely weird.
Yeah. I mean, even so, I mean, luckily I had already called, like, then I called all the creditors and said this is what's going on, and
Mhm.
so I had a whole plan in place. If we had stayed out long enough that you had missed a payment or any of that kind of stuff, but people don't understand that these days.
Yeah, they don't. They don't. The next question is a hot topic. I'm seeing it everywhere from TikTok, all over YouTube. How do you feel when people say to get a real job?
And it's funny because I have actually had people tell me to get a real job, and I'm like, I do have a real job on top of this. It's not like I'm just doing this. It's irritating because to me, it is a job. Yes, you don't have the benefits of having a W-2, like you don't have your insurance, and there's a lot of other things that you don't have in benefit wise. But if you play it right and you know your market, you can make the money to make up the difference for those things. And you have more time. And you set your schedule. Believe me, right now, I go to work at 6:30 in the morning. And yeah, I get off at 4. But then it's a drive home. And I see my husband for 10 minutes. So, and then we may be changing our start time to 6 o'clock. Well, yeah, that's 6 to 3:30, but do you know that 15? Because because at one time I was going in at 6:45, then we went to 6:30, and that's hard. That 15 minutes messes you up for weeks. Two or 3 weeks to get on the schedule. Because like I told him, if we start going in at 6 in the morning, I said, I'm gonna have to go to bed earlier. So that means I'm gonna have to start going out to do gig work during the week at 4:30 and only stay out till 7:30. Because I gotta come home, get ready so I can get up at the butt crack of dawn, basically, to go to work.
Yeah.
And so, if I could do it full time and make what I make between the two, which I can't, but if I could, yeah, I would probably do it.
Well, y'all heard it first. Yeah, heard it first. See, and everybody says get a real job, but you just said it. Balance. You're making it work. You're doing both. But you still wish you could just do this full time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
to me, this is a quote real job.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why people act like self-employment isn't something that's been around for a long time. It's not to the certain level, obviously, of someone. Let's say if you do HVAC work, or if you're a plumber, or you start your own cleaning business,
right?
But you're still working your own schedule, doing your own thing. You're independent. I mean, when I was a kid, I used to pack bags, rake leaves, shovel snow. I did everything to make money. That's pretty much the same thing. Obviously it's just not with an app, but anytime you provide a service for money, I feel that's a job. I don't get the, it might not be a career, but and there's plenty of jobs out there that you shouldn't make a career, but there's people who do it because they love it or because they have to. So think people got to stop being so hard on each other, man. It just,
Absolutely, I agree.
I really do, because everybody's job is important.
But the thing is that if people weren't doing gig work, what happens to the little old person that can't get out and get their groceries?
Bingo.
Or, I mean, I deliver to some older people all the time, just food. And I mean, I deliver to one guy, he lives in between the two towns that I'm in. And, I'm sure that when he gets home from his job or whatever, or if he's home on the weekend, he probably is like a lot of people, just don't want to get out. So, and I deliver to a lot of the same people just repetitively.
Yes, that's true. And that's something that I do as well. I have a lot of elderly people. I had people that I used to deliver to that, are amputees, so it's hard for them to get out and go about. It's so many different people that need the service, not even just want it, they need it. And I think people forget about those people when they say insensitive things like get a real job, because I'm pretty sure to those people, we have a real job because they depend on us,
Yes.
What advice would you give someone who is considering joining the gig economy?
To try it. I mean, don't talk about it, just do it, because I will tell you, I was signed up for Postmates back in 2020, and I didn't do it.
Really?
And yes, because I'm very introverted to a point that it took all I had to finally just go, okay, I'm just going to go do this, because I don't like a lot of interaction with people. And so it was hard for me. I'd rather go through the drive-thru than go inside, so that was hard for me to actually make myself go and actually go in the restaurant and tell them I was picking up an order for somebody. And, even being a little bit assertive sometimes when they're like skirting you, they help all the people that are going to eat there or whatever, and they just kind of walk around you, ignore you. And I mean, I've seen my husband do it when he's gone in and picked up something for me when he's been with me, as he'll be in there forever. I'm like, dude, you just got to say, hey, I'm here for this, and I've gotten a lot better over the last year or so. It's just,
I know what you
absolutely mean. Just try it. It doesn't hurt to try. If you don't like it, then don't do it.
That's simple. That's what I say, because before you can make a judgment, you should just try it. Yeah,
absolutely.
I agree with you. Absolutely. And lastly, any last words, any things that you want to say? No, any advice? Well, I'll say it for her. Please go check out her channel, Bomb City Dashin'. She has amazing content. And for those who like the long form content, she has a ton of it. And it feels like you're riding right along with her. I love the channel. I've recently been binge watching it, actually, because I was kind of late to the party, but I've been binge watching it lately. I was actually watching when I was working earlier. So y'all go check that out, please. I will have all her links in the description below. It's a great channel. She goes live. She actually has a great live stream where she went traveling, her and her husband. Please go check it out. Tell her that I sent you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. Oh, if that's it, then I guess we're going to end this and wrap it up.
All right. Well,
all right, y'all.
Thank you so much.
Go ahead. The floor is yours. Anything you want to say?
Just check out my channel. Help me reach 1,000.
Yes, please help her reach 1,000. Come on now and get them watch hours up and all of that good stuff. Like, comment, subscribe, share, please. Because sharing is caring. It really helps. And she will greatly appreciate it. And
absolutely.
So will I.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Peace.